But hey guys, welcome back to the Sistership pod with Dami
and Korede.
We're back.
Season 2, you
We're back in the cut, guys.
Nah.
I feel like it's come at a good time that we've come back.
Agreed.
It's come at a good time because I was contemplating coming back in April.
Yeah.
Or recording in April.
Rather.
But yeah, no, God is
faithful.
Yeah, like he's just such a good planner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Romans 8:28 comes to mind. Like everything working together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose.
Yeah.
Not to get too spiritual, but
if you guys know
what happened today and where we're coming from,
exactly,
then you know, like, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. Like it makes sense.
There's no better way to start this new season anyway but thanking God. Like we've got so much to be grateful for. Last season was great, the reception was great, we were really happy with where we left off. And now we're coming back to pick up. Do you know what I mean?
We're coming back stronger as well.
Absolutely. Consistency. Why did we say that at the same time? We're so scary.
Guys, this is what I mean.
We're so scary. But you know,
meant to be. I'm just happy to be here at this current moment. We have a whole episode planned, but I'm just smelling at the camera because I'm happy to be here.
No. I feel that deeply. I feel that deeply. So you know when they say, I'm gonna say your phrase, between a rock and a hard place. If you know, like I said, like if you know where we're coming from, us being here, smiling, giggling, happy, jolly,
the bass was that we've
faced, but nonetheless, like I said at the beginning, God is faithful, ever faithful. So
forever.
We're grateful to be here.
We are back.
But like, I don't know, during the time that we were like gone between season 1, season 2, is there anything that you thought about? It could be related to this pod, like what's the vision for this pod, or like, let's like ease people back into who we are kind of thing, what's been going on, how we've been thinking, feeling around this. And then we'll get into today's topic a bit later.
The hiatus wasn't supposed to be as long as it was.
Right.
But yeah, life happens, and I feel like for me, probably for you as well, you probably feel the same way. It was just kind of like adjusting and getting used to the emotions, because I feel like when we started the pod, I mean, I feel like life was better than it has been in these like current months. So it was an adjustment, and at the same time, I think the way we both think or the way we both like feel about things is quite similar. So there wasn't like any pushing in terms of coming back. We knew we would be back.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just had to like get ourselves, like gather yourself. We had to gather ourselves before we came back, because we wanted to come back and like give you guys good
full
content,
energy to get it, and
not be speaking and like not even necessarily believing what we're saying.
And the thing is, do you know what's crazy? Like sometimes, as much as we try to fake it till we make it, sort of thing, you can read energy. I think even if it's audio, if you guys are audio listeners, I feel like you'd be able to tell when we're not in it, when our hearts aren't in it, or when it's like a half-hearted sort of approach. Yeah. So like it was important, and I feel like it should always be paramount that we come when we're able to give. Yeah. Because otherwise, what's the point? Like,
it's the truth. I really agree with that.
But I was literally thinking the same thing. Like, it's so important for us to come back this season. 1, to be consistent, like we were saying, and 2, to be high energy, because therefore you guys get the most out of us. And
you guys are also excited to listen to us. Not that we're dead on the pod and you guys are thinking,
you just be thinking, what's the point? Like, next,
why are you guys doing this?
Next, like, it's so important for us to do that because we owe it to you guys. We said we're gonna come here and do this, so let's do it properly. Yeah. So yeah, that's literally
that, man. That's literally a summary of how things went during our hiatus. Yeah. I think. Are there any winning points from the hiatus? It was necessary. We wanted to take a break and we took the break. Yep. And I think for you guys, less for us because we're living in the moment. But like, guys, you will get through whatever you're going through if you're going through anything. It's just a moment.
Yeah,
it's not a lifetime. It doesn't have to be a lifetime. Just generally, not even from like a spiritual point of view.
Yeah.
But tough times never last.
Only tough people last.
Only tough people last.
Like,
and the fact that we're still standing, if we're still standing, you people can still be standing as well. Yeah, that's just the bottom line. I think that's what I really wanted to like
encourage people with.
Say to you guys.
That's so cute. Oh my God.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Do you know what? No, I feel like he wrapped it up nicely. Like, he did a good job. I think maybe we should unpack, because we've obviously, this week has been so interesting. Obviously, we planned to come back to record, but we were just sitting on like, what are we going to talk about? We wanted it to be like relationship focused, like our podcast is generally, but we didn't discuss what we were going to talk about.
I was thinking that. I didn't know you were thinking that as well.
No, I was thinking that, oh my days, we don't have a topic, but we planned to record.
What are we going to talk about?
Yeah. And then just like that, there was discourse on social media. And it
just suited us so.
And it suited it. And I thought, do you know what, now we're going to take this and we're going to talk about it today. So, how do we feel about friends that are in relationships? They're in periods of feeling like overwhelmed.
Well, life is happening.
Life is happening, and they ghost their friends. But someone on Twitter basically asked, like, why don't they ghost their partner, or like, why is it that they end up ghosting their friends, but like
guys will put the tweet in,
putting a lot of effort into their relationship, their intimate relationship. Now the tweet will appear.
They're still talking to their significant other.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know it word for word, but it will appear, and I guess so much came out of that conversation, or that one tweet.
Guys, my eyes were like this on.
So much.
I couldn't believe what I was reading. Okay, so I sent the tweet to the girls GC on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, because I was going. I was like, I want to explain it as I was going ballistic in my mind, because I just couldn't believe the things that I was seeing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to hear the girls' opinion on it, and obviously we hold similar values, so we kind of agreed on a lot of things. But a lot of people on Twitter were of the notion that obviously the dynamics between you and your partner is different to that of
your friends. Yeah.
Which I agree with. I'm not going to lie and say that
it's exactly the same.
When you get a partner, you have to give me as much time as you were giving me from the jump.
Not.
Like, that's not going to happen.
That would be
especially if that's your life partner.
Yeah, exactly. What's the word I'm looking for? That's
selfish.
Yeah, it's an unfair thing to ask.
As well.
To have that sort of expectation of someone that's also now splitting their time somewhere else.
And this is someone that's going to be a significant part of their life.
Exactly.
But people are basically saying your friends should basically understand that that's your partner, and that they, for me, how I will sum it up is that the way I saw it was, when I get into a relationship, I don't owe my friends anything. That's what I sort of
as in like how that's what you sort of like concluded from what they were saying. And do you know what, like
that was like the general gist like I don't,
they should sort of be okay with you ghosting them, sort of thing. Yeah, because like, not that you don't really owe it to them.
Yeah. And I even saw some people say like, oh, if they're your friend, they will understand. Do you know what? Yeah, because I feel like I might be sounding a bit insensitive, so let me say, like, of course there's a first time for everything. If this happened on one occasion or two occasions even, there's grace.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to be a prick. Like, I understand that life happens. Your significant others who you talk to all the time. The expectation would be
that your friend's going to come back after that time and be like, look guys, I was going through a rough time, so forgive me for airing you, type of thing.
And that's why I'm able to even extend grace, because it's like, okay, cool, you gave me an update on what was happening. Yeah, like, it's not all about me in that moment. But I think what we kind of were speaking about was how high the pedestal is for people who are in romantic relationships, and how these people see platonic relationships and like friendships in general. I was just really shocked by what people were saying.
I think the issue is like, I don't know if it's like society conditioning us or whatever's happened down the line that means that, like you were saying, romantic relationships are placed on a pedestal, and then your platonic relationships are like kind of just a placeholder until you find that person, and then you leave everybody else by the wayside, and like you just pour into that person consistently. I mean, yes, pour into that person, but don't forget like the people that have been there for you and are there for you, like they care for you. We're
and
talking
will be
about
there
like
for you regardless.
what does friendship mean? It's obviously important for you to be with people that value friendship the same way you do, or see it in the same way, because you're not going to be compatible as friends. That compatibility in friendship is really important.
Guys, relationships.
In all relationships, compatibility.
When we say
important.
Relationships, we're not only talking about romantic relationships.
Yeah, of course.
If I say that I have a relationship with this person, I have a relationship with that person, it just means there's a mutual agreement, there's a mutual understanding between two parties. That's just what a relationship means.
Exactly.
And that's when you now split into platonic ones, romantic ones. But in order for you to have a relationship with someone, you need to pour into it.
Of course.
And
there are conditions. I think sometimes we think these things are without like duty.
And
like,
no expectations. This is why I like to say that line of, I don't expect anything from anybody is so dangerous when it comes to relationships in your life that actually matter.
It's important to have the standard and and expectations rather of other people, because then you end up not treating people as they deserve. Like, I think we should begin with the idea that everybody is deserving of respect, everybody is deserving of care, everybody's deserving of concern. And if you guys mutually like each other, you like me, I like you, I mean, that's the fundamental of like a friendship or any sort of relationship. And then you add all of those other things, they're deserving of that. And if you begin to act like, oh, I don't owe anybody anything, or I don't have any expectations of anybody, then you leave yourself open to not truly tapping into what a relationship is. Do you know what I mean?
You miss out on what it actually means to have friendship, to have sistership, to have brotherhood, to have people that you know you can count on, people that you can confide in. When that partner of yours isn't in the best place to engage with you, you know you can talk to your friends because you have your friends. Like, these are things that I felt like people weren't thinking about. Like, there is such a bigger picture. And even in the romantic relationship, I'm hoping that you're friends with your partner before you decide to get into the real nitty gritty of things. Friendship is so important. And I think it's the basis for long lasting relationship. Or should I say liking someone. When you like someone, you're more likely to treat them with kindness. And I think everyone deserves kindness, especially your friends who were there before that partner. Someone said it's impossible to pour into your friendships as much as you pour into your romantic relationships. And I'm here to tell you that I do not agree.
I don't buy into that
I do not agree.
I don't buy into that concept at all.
I do not agree. I'm gonna say, sorry, I'm gonna cut you. But the way I love my girls, if I don't love my husband like that, then it's probably not gonna work. Like, you probably won't get to the husband point if I don't love you like that. Like, I feel like in this era where I'm actually being realistic with myself and my expectations and understanding what I really want for my future, the friendship that I have with my girls is such a strong basis for my relationships going forward. How I treat them, how they treat me. Like, it's kind of like a mirror in how I want to treat others and how I'd want to be treated as well. My friends mean so much to me. Like, they're such a big part of my life. This hard or this rough period that I've just had. I was saying to Korede,
you have people to lean on.
I don't know how people live life without having friends or without having people that you can call family, and they're not necessarily related to you. They're not necessarily blood related to you. Like, I literally don't know where I would be if I didn't have my girls. I don't. I can tell you guys that for free. Like, I don't know where I would be. So I do think it's possible for me to pour into my friendships as much as I pour into a romantic one. And I just want us to not forget where you're coming from. Don't forget the people that hold you up, or that have held you up, or are holding you up. When you meet someone that you think could be your person, like, don't forget.
It's important not to. I think it's worrying how quickly people were agreeing with the tweet that, like, it's okay to ghost your friends or air them because you're
okay
going
to
through
ghost
something
anybody.
that's tough. Like, I think your friends should not necessarily, they don't always have to pry, like you don't have to tell them the nitty gritty of whatever it is you're going through, but I think they are owed, like, even if it's a message, to be like, look girls, look guys, I'm going through a rough period, I don't want to talk about it with you right now, but just give me some time, I'll be back. That's like a 5-10 second text message.
Doesn't cost you
that you
anything.
need to send to them. They'll be like, do you know what, cool. And then I think maybe the issue is like they're worried that people are still going to pry, or they have to send loads of messages to loads of people. There are things like close friend stories. There's things like sending like a broadcast if you must, but sending, like, I don't know if you have 1,000 friends, but sending the same message, copy and paste.
Guys, you should have 1,000 friends.
Just copy and paste the same message to your different chats or to your different people. And like, people that love you are going to respect that you need your space. Like, we're grown-ups now. No one's going to be like, no, you must tell me what's wrong, what's up. The only time they probably will continue to ask what's up is if you haven't said anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you go ghost, or if your attitude changes, like, on a whim, and you haven't prefaced it with "I'm going through a rough time," then they're gonna try and pry.
Be concerned.
It's coming from a place of concern. Like, it's not because, like,
not because of monitoring spirits, guys. We're not talking about that. We're talking about people who genuinely love you.
Why would you even consider friends as people that are monitoring? Like, how did the two don't go in the same sentence?
If you consider someone as a monitoring spirit, they shouldn't be your friend. They are not your friend.
So I was just like, let's please just take a step back and think about the way that this tweet is worded. Ghosting friends, brazy.
It's not acceptable.
I don't see it. But then again, it's like, okay, cool. Maybe, I don't think we have high expectations of friends, but we have expectations of our friends. And therefore, that's not something that we'll take. But some people don't.
High expectations of you.
No, I'm saying, like, I think that's a standard. Like, that's like the bare minimum. You being able to communicate, look, sis, I'm going through a rough time, I care for you, so I'd be like, cool, I'm here whenever you need me, no problem. That to me is the bare minimum. That's not a high standard. Whereas some people that don't have standards, that seems like something that is you're asking for a lot type of thing. Do you get what I mean?
That's why, like, what you said in terms of being compatible, because for me,
it's important.
Like,
it's the be all and end all.
I always told, like, you're not. I won't ever introduce you as a friend. If I don't see you as my friend, like, I'm gonna be so for real. I know her, I know him, or I know you, but we ain't friends. Like, let's really be honest. Like, friendship is a big thing for me. I feel like I'm someone who kind of struggles to give the same energy to like thousands of people. It's not in me. I will not do it. It's difficult for me.
It's difficult for most people. I think to truly be someone's friend is quite an energy exerting activity. Like, it's not I don't take it as something that's like something light. If I call you my friend, like, it's deep. So realistically, I can't give so much of myself to loads and loads of people.
And guys, that's not to say that you don't have different expectations for different friends. I definitely do. Like, in terms of me and you, we talk every day. If we don't talk one day, I'm thinking,
because what's really happening? Then, do you know what happened? Do you know what I think? Yeah, like, even if we don't talk, it's kind of like we're aware or privy to like what's going down in the background. So it's like, okay, cool, I hear it, but like, I don't think I could ghost you. How does that work? It doesn't. I can't compute. But there are some. Exactly. Like, it will be the type of friend that comes and knocks on your door like, "Hello, everything okay?"
I don't even need to come. It's fine. I'll call your mum.
Do you see what I mean? But there are friends that we have that are lower maintenance. I'd see this low maintenance friendship.
I don't even like that.
I don't like the phrase, but I understand the concept. Like, you guys don't talk all the time, but you're still cool.
But like, you have a common understanding. Do talk,
it's a catch up.
They will probably hear about what's been going on. Like, I have maybe a friend that's like that, or a few friends that I'm just like, like, we don't talk every day. We don't talk even weekly, Seth. But when we do talk, I know that the love remains the same.
Exactly.
Like, nothing's changed.
Like, that's not going to change as we get into relationships and as we get, because my mum still speaks. She has a friend that she speaks to every single day.
Has friendship group, like a friendship group.
She has a friendship group. She doesn't speak to everyone in that friendship group every day, but she has a friend that she still speaks to every day that she might as well be like her sister. But she still has a marriage. Like, you can't say that you can't do it's one or the other. Guys, why are we so...
If it's impossible, then you're not... It's because you don't want to do it. Like, that's just the bottom line.
Why are we... Is the word not polarizing. What's the word I'm looking for? But like, why is it so final? One or the other. Ceteris paribus. As one is happening, the other can't happen. Come on.
It's like what? what? Everything can happen
simultaneously.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure your partner will even be thinking,
no friends.
This is who I ended up with.
Oh my days.
I can't even catch a break. And guys, your man is gonna catch a break from you. He's going out with his boys.
Yeah, it's important to keep.
I've been silly, but guys, friendship is like the basis for a lot of things. It's the basis for how you treat others. Like, and it's so beautiful. You guys, you never know where knowing the right person or having such a deep relationship with someone can take you.
Honestly, I think we forget how beautiful like friendship can be. It's such, sometimes I envy the people that had, like when I was growing up, I envied the people that had sisters.
Oh, even me.
Because I have a brother and I love him to bits.
We have
siblings, but like I see people that have their sister and it's like the bond is so separate. So to have that with someone else that obviously they're not blood related, but that you still consider the person your sister,
and they're friends. Guys, I think another thing I was also forgetting is that you can have a sister, you can have siblings, but you might not necessarily like them. You're just in it because you're blood. Yeah. You do the mandatory things like because you're blood. Got a choice. You ain't got a choice but to stick it through together. But when it comes to friends, you actually need to like your friends. If you don't like your friends, that's not a friend. That isn't someone that you should be calling friend, in my opinion. That's a waste of everybody's time.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
You're always looking over your shoulder. What kind of life is that? That's not fun. There's nothing.
It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, like, guys, love on people outside of romantic settings.
Oh, absolutely.
You need to learn how to love on others. You need to learn how to allow your love to stretch past romance.
It's so important.
I think maybe patriarchy has done a number on us or on people in general, society, where it's just like people are even so like individualistic to the point where they're not thinking about the wider community
outside of themselves. We're going down a worrying, like,
it's scary,
slippery slope. Like we're going down a worrying,
it's a rabbit hole.
The trajectory is not looking good. It's looking quite bleak. Because we spoke about this in season 1 as well, like that concept of like self-preservation. Like it's all about me. I don't need to think about the wider community. I don't need to think about anybody else but myself. I just need to look out for me. Maybe
it's going to be harder for you to survive by yourself.
It's not patriarchy. It's more like a...
No, I'm saying patriarchy and more of like the romance
the romance thing. Yeah. Okay, yeah, maybe actually. Like relationships are like seen as
it's more of a societal thing, generally.
Yeah. The thing I was trying to get at, like with this individualism. Thank you. Wow. I really want to understand what the root of it is. Why do we behave like this?
I just think it's just social media.
Do you think?
Yeah. I think social media, why do I say it like that? Social media capitalism it's conditioned a lot of people.
I think capitalism as well conditions us to be so like, it's me, like I'm looking out for me, I'm doing things in my own self-interest.
If it doesn't serve me, I'm not interested.
Yeah, you have to fend for yourself. Like that might be what it's rooted in as well. But I do feel like it's quite concerning that we're going down this route because what does it mean for like the community when we're a bit older? Like I remember seeing people talk about this as well and saying, why are we so concerned with the notion of community? Because like for example, our parents' community wasn't perfect. Like there were issues with it. But I do feel like surely the response to seeing an imperfect community is to want to perfect
make it better,
as opposed to discard the concept.
We don't need it. Entirety. We're doing just fine. No, we are not.
Do you know what I mean? Like I just feel like we're going down such a scary. Why don't we want to? Yeah, the trajectory is so scary. Like, why don't we want to make things better? Why are we so prepared to discard things at the first instance that, you know what, it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. Like, there's no such thing as a perfect community. Nonetheless, there are going to be places where we fall short. But like, I do think we are more aware.
There's no space for forgiveness as well.
Yeah, that might also be an issue. Like there's no, we're aware of what is not acceptable. So therefore, rather than not doing it at all, let's just not do the things that are unacceptable and continue to do the things that are, so that we actually have people to lean on. Because there's no man is an island, and
literally,
and doing life alone is probably the worst thing you could do to yourself.
The odds of you surviving by yourself
are so slim.
Compared to you surviving with a group of people. Like 2 heads are always better than 1.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why you would really want to. I don't understand why you'd want to isolate yourself, guys. I'm not talking in terms of like mental health disorders or like people who
honestly,
have mental health concerns.
That's actually another thing as well. You know,
I'm talking about us that are like generally mentally well.
Yeah.
There's so much power in having community. There's so much power in having people that you know. If I need something, if I need help, if I need someone to even brainstorm with me, I can call on this person. I can call on that person. You will get so much more further on, like further in life, if you have people. And I'm not saying have people to use them. Friendship is a mutual benefit. It's symbiotic or synergistic.
Mutuality is like the core pillar of friendship. Like if I was to define it, it has to be mutual liking, mutual care. Like because I like you, therefore this, that and the other. Like it can't be, it's not one-sided.
It shouldn't
be
one-sided.
It's not
it can't be one-sided. It won't survive if it's one-sided.
That completely defeats the notion of friendship. I wanted to go back to a point that you raised though, like conscious of the fact that there are people that have poor mental health.
Oh yes.
And those are people that, of course, like we need to help them in the best way that we can, and do our best for them. Like no one's saying that that's not the case, but I did see something that kind of made me think, what do I think about this? And I was pondering on it, whether people, like, for example, the original tweet was the person's going through a rough place, or they're feeling overwhelmed, or do people quote mental health as a reason or as a crutch, like a poor mental health as a crutch for treating people poorly? Do you think?
You're asking me,
doctor. I don't know.
I knew you were gonna say that.
As the doctor,
guys,
we'll unpack it. Like I just thought that was an interesting perspective. Like, mental health is
a very sticky subject. I'll be honest. Even as like a future doctor, it's something that sometimes I do find hard to talk about, because
do you feel like it's too subjective? But or is it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a big issue, mental health. Like even like consultants will tell you like it's hard to say this is what's wrong with someone,
right?
Or this is what isn't wrong with someone.
Yeah.
Like, you have parameters in which you can make diagnoses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, let's not get twisted.
Of course.
But it's a blurry line. Like some issues are behavioural.
Yeah.
Rather than psychological. And if it's a behavioural issue,
it can sort of be fixed. Like it can be.
Yeah. That's something you adjust. That's something that we know, like, it doesn't come from like there being a hormonal imbalance in your brain.
Right.
There being a neurotransmitter imbalance in your brain.
Yeah.
So I think we do need to be very careful
through behavior, basically.
Yeah, it can be
changes to behavior
rather than medication.
But we need to be more careful, basically.
We need to be careful about how we speak about mental health pertaining to other people, and how it affects other people.
Yeah.
We also need to be careful in self-diagnosing. Don't do that, because you might be shocked when you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you it's a behavioural concern rather than a mental health one. I think we need to do a lot of inner work. And I feel like as well, this is why it's good to have friends, because sometimes friends can actually see what is concerning.
Yeah.
Or before what isn't concerning before you do.
True that.
And then you potentially go to the doctors or whatever. But yeah, I do feel like sometimes people do weaponize mental health in regards to how they treat other people. But I'm saying that, and I'm saying it very cautiously,
of course,
because mental health is very difficult. It's not
black and white.
It's a very sensitive thing.
Yeah,
it's not objective. everyone's experiences with it will be different. But we're not trying to say that we're not understanding that mental health could be a concern in these situations.
Of course.
It can 100% be. And this is why we're saying
the expectation
it's not from
is
an overbearing angle. It's not like we want to make you feel like you're indebted to us and you have to tell us what's wrong. No, it's
absolutely
more
not. It's
just keep us in the loop. Like, we're people that care about you. And for me, I'm a worrier. I'm someone who worries quite a bit. Maybe more pertaining to myself. But like, if it was my closest group of people that I speak to regularly and I didn't know what was going on with them, it would concern me. It would like bother me a lot, and it wouldn't be a nice feeling. And I know that sounds egotistical, or that sounds like I'm really like, oh, but it's me. No, it's just
because of the care that you have for this person.
Girl, it's either I message you every day and ask you what's wrong, or you let me know that you're not in a good space,
and then I leave you to it.
That's fine. Like, you when you're ready, come back. I'll always be here. But I think it's finding that balance. And if you are mentally, if you are feeling mentally unwell, then guys, like, you need to seek help. You need to seek help. Yeah. Even if it's not friendship, even if it means that you go to A&E, or you set up a GP appointment,
get some professional
or you talk to
help.
Someone on the phone. Like, there are so many crisis
avenues.
lines that you can get in touch with. But I think our concept for this episode is don't do life alone. Like, life isn't, you're not alive to be alone.
Exactly.
There's a scripture in the Bible, actually. I think maybe we can put it in here. But it talks about man not being alone and what it means if they are, I think, something like that. I might have to clarify that.
Yeah.
But
we'll circle back on that.
But love on your friends like they love on you. If your friends don't love on you how you expected to be loved on, explain that, express that. If they're not trying to budge, then you know that you're not compatible.
And you can go and find other friends.
Literally, you can. I'm someone who struggles with making new friends, should I say. But I feel like even growing up now, I'm quite open now to the concept of meeting different people and allowing people into my life that might actually be beneficial to me. I'm not really the friend maker. That's just probably because of like personal trauma, like things that I've gone through. Yeah. But I understand the beauty and the power in friendship.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
I feel like we both really want you guys to understand what it means to have friends, what it means to have people that will fight for you when you're not there, people that will fight for you, just generally, and always advocate for you, like your best interest. It's the best thing to have. I don't know if there was anything else that you wanted to talk about.
No, I just think sometimes, other than what you've said, like there's beauty, there's power in friendship. It's also important to make sure that you are strict when it comes to your relationships, like having boundaries, talking friendship, talking romantic relationships, whatever it is. Be vocal about those boundaries. You don't need to necessarily like place yourself on a pedestal, like we were saying. It's not from an egotistical standpoint, but it's just like,
it's like having self-respect. It goes for anyone.
Like, just make sure that you're vocal about it. You don't need to pry as well. Like, just because you have standards for your friends and you expect them to like want to speak to you, like they don't have to there and then. It's not by force. They're not in the space to, but you just respect that. So, you know, begin to continue to like to nurture relationships that are mutually like, there's mutual respect, there's mutual like, you guys care for each other, you guys have a deep concern for each other's well-being and like your states of mind,
and you guys
like,
make each other better as well.
Exactly. So by virtue of that, like the relationship can only flourish, but it's down to you to make sure that you're upholding your end of the bargain, so that person can also uphold their end of the bargain. Like, you're in this because relationships require a duty of us. Like if you're not prepared to
be responsible,
to hold the weight, then don't engage in the relationship. Like I literally don't think it's worth anybody's time. I think we are too frivolous when it comes to relationships. We don't place any value on them.
We don't think about their emotions.
We don't think about how deep they really are. So I think it's so important that you approach them understanding the depths of them and the gravity and how important
and how much you can give.
And by virtue of like having that in the back of your mind, then you're going to have standards and you're going to have like expectations. And there's something that you're working towards, be like a person you're working towards being for someone else. So yeah, I don't know, that wasn't the most coherent way to put it, but like it's the best way I could describe what I'm thinking.
I think they'll understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like we have a great role model like of a friend in Jesus Christ. I do feel like we should probably like, we can end it here because I think we've said pretty much everything we wanted to, but before ending, like let's look to our role model. Do you know what I mean? Like what does the word say about friendship, so that at least you have a word to take with you, because sometimes it's not easy, but no, like having a constant reminder,
that's what I was saying, you guys helps. Need to like make each other work on bettering the other friend. Like I'll do stuff that isn't good, you do stuff that isn't good, but we can correct each other and we know for next time. But yeah, this scripture, we've used it before on the pod, but it's basically Proverbs 18:24, and this is the NLT version, and it's just saying there are friends who destroy each other, but a real friend sticks closer than a brother. Yeah, and I feel like that just sums up what I was saying earlier, as in you're having siblings, but you don't necessarily like them as a friend. You don't necessarily like them.
You didn't choose them.
Yeah, but when you have a friend that you've actually chosen because you guys have similar values, you treat each other similarly, you love on each other how you expect to be loved on each other. Yeah,
and you deserve to be honest.
Like everybody deserves to be loved on. Like, don't think you're unworthy of being loved or you're unworthy of having friends.
Absolutely not. You are. Yeah.
Everyone is worthy of love. But yeah, that type of friend, sticks closer than a brother.
Yeah, I love that. The one that I was going to draw on is in John 50.
Fellowship, girl.
What did he say?
No, he said
draw your sword. Say, let me draw my sword here. In my sanctification era. So John 15, verse 12 and 13. Basically, this is God's Jesus speaking to us in saying, this is my commandment: love each other in the same way I have loved you. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends. That's why I was referring to like Jesus being the ultimate role model. Like you have to deeply love your friends to the extent where you're prepared to do what it takes for them, like to go the extra mile for them. Like, do you see what I mean? Like you're prepared to do what it takes. Like, I don't know how else to express that, but I mean, like that's the only way to sustain a friendship or to uphold it.
Guys, we're put on this earth to serve others.
Yep, absolutely.
We didn't come here to serve ourselves. I'll be really frank and honest with you.
We've got to have a mindset change, because
can't be self-serving.
That's the second time this episode. We should actually start a count of how many like times we say the same word at the same time.
At the same time.
But for real.
But yeah, being self-serving is destructive. It is destructive. You're never going to be satisfied.
And you just won't be able to fulfill like what your purpose is by yourself.
Because you're going to be
I don't think there's any
goalposts.
purpose that is individualistic.
Nah.
Like you're either here to serve others or to work with others or to like... There's a togetherness that I feel like we're missing out on.
Yeah.
But wow, we really went deep this episode. Like it started so trivial, not trivial, but like it was we saw some discourse on Twitter, but have got into something quite deep. We can definitely pick this up. I think this is something worth talking about. I love these
conversations, because for me, I feel like these type of conversations allow you to see the bigger picture of life. And allow you to see life before, like allows you to see life outside of yourself. Yeah,
it's so grounding. It's crazy.
This life isn't just for you. Like there are so many people that need to benefit from you being alive. Guys, you need to make friends. You need to be kind to people. You need to love on people just because you're here.
Yeah. It's true. Wow, end of episode 1. I hope that really touched you guys. Like, it was so important for this conversation to be something fruitful. I think that's always our goal. As much as we're lighthearted babes, that we joke around all the time, we're not serious candidates. I do feel like there's no point coming and sitting behind a microphone if you guys aren't going to get something from it. If we're not going to get anything from it, it would just be a waste of time. So we hope like this was not a waste of your time. Moving forward, obviously, support us. Subscribe, like, share, comments. You know,
we need to get on with the TikToks, guys. Share our TikToks.
So we're gonna make sure that the TikToks are coming at you more frequently.
Yeah.
If you are watching, thank you for watching.
You're about to be sick of us.
If you are listening, thank you for listening. But honestly, guys, we will see you in the next episode. We are the Sistership Pod.
Thank you for listening.
Peace out, guys. Bye.
I didn't say bye.